Today we're gonna look at Magic the Gathering's greatest, most finest protection spells. We're gonna start off with Brave the Elements. This is a white instant. Choose a color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. Now, this is particularly useful in, for example, if you need to protect from a removal spell, but also if you just need to give all your white creatures unblockable and send in a lot of damage. That is absolutely going to do the job as well. Do highly recommend. All right, next up, and it's protection for anything that will protect. Bacon Catbug says, Consecrate Land. Consecrate Land is a white aura enchant land. Enchant land is indestructible and can't be enchanted by other lands. This is ultimate protection from land destruction. Forget your Armageddon, forget the Wasteland, forget the Strip Mine. You want to come at me with Stone Rain? Well, you have another thing coming for you. You got Consecrate Land. You can't come here, all right? Nothing. It's indestructible. But apparently we can't enchant by any other auras? It would have been too broken if that was the case. They knew if you enchant this land, if the land becomes a creature, it could end up being broken, so they had to have that clause. It can't be enchanted by other auras, that's it. This is the only aura. But you know what? They didn't say anything about equipment. They didn't say anything. Darkness. That will protect you from damage. You know what we're gonna, do we count this? Darkness. I know what you're talking about. Where is it here? Prevent all combat damage to be dealt this turn. You know what? I'm gonna limit it to things that protect the battlefield. Cards in play. That's what it's got. No, do we? No, you know what? I think it can protect you too. I have no problem with this. Darkness. It's fog. That being said, it's not the best. I mean, this is literally just black fog. Fog is pretty bad. This is the best protection spells. This is one of the worst. I don't mind this one. I like this one. I like this protection from land thing. That's pretty unique. Alright, Teferi's protection. Do you know what? Once we get through all like the good ones, we can start talking about the really janky ones. You could argue that black needs the protection more than green, though. Teferi's protection. You know what? This does everything. We got a white 2 generic instant until your next turn. Your life total can't change. You gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out, and then we gotta exile our Teferi's protection. Otherwise, if you could loop this thing over and over again, you'd be completely untouchable. Beampot says Chomano. The blessing is still a banger. Alright, the Chomano's blessing. We have a white enchant creature. You may play Chomano's blessing anytime you could play an instant. You see that? Flash speed auras. They had that as early as Mask's block. As Chomano's blessing comes into play, you get to choose a color. An enchant creature has protection from the chosen color. This effect doesn't remove Chomano's blessing. Yeah, I guess so that you can give pro white. The problem is if you give pro white, uh-oh, I have Chomano's blessing. It's a white card. I guess I lose my Chomano's blessing. No, you get to keep it. Not only that, you add a little bit of devotion for yourself with Chomano's blessing. I like it. And we gotta tell other people to be quiet around here, says Abzo. Silence! Silence! Where's the silence? Oh man, there's so many cards called silence. Oh, here's this one. Your opponents can't cast spells this turn. Do we count this? Whatever, it's a loose show today. Do you know what? It's gonna be a loose show, sure. Silence. It protects you by making sure your opponent can't do squat. Well, you want to have a turn? No, you're not allowed to have a turn. I told you to be quiet. Now go to the corner and think about what you've done. Da Raptors with the Surge of Salvation. Very new popular card here. White instant, you and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Want to Thoughtseize me? Well, you Thoughtseize yourself. Prevent all damage that black and or red sources would deal to creatures you control this turn as well. So, afraid of a Blasphemous Act? Well, don't worry. The Blasphemous Act, you have protection from Blasphemous Act. This gives you insurance versus Blasphemous Act. You're covered for Blasphemous Act, Anger the Gods, Rain of Filth? Is that a thing? I can't remember. Maybe not. I'm just trying to think what black-based damage things that deal damage. Does Drain Life? I think Drain Life deals damage. Deals X damage. Yeah, all right. You got insurance from Drain Life. You got Surge of Salvation. All right, next up, Circle Protection White. This is probably one of the worst ones. Does anyone use this card? I understand the red one, but this is like one of the crappier ones. Okay, 2-mana enchantment, pay 1. If a white source would deal damage to you, you prevent that damage. Honestly, I put this in this is the fog range, or sorry, the darkness. This is darkness quality protection around here. No slow-mo. Oh, maybe I'll fix that in a second. But before I do that, we go to Joshua's Diplomatic Immunity. Diplomatic Immunity is a 2-mana, what is it? It's an aura. It's an enchant creature. Enchant creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. Diplomatic Immunity can't be the target of spells or abilities. Oh, both have hexproof. Oh, sorry, not hexproof, Shroud, which is the crappier hexproof. But hexproof, oh, sorry, well, whatever. It's not hexproof. It's not hexproof because it's Shroud. So you want to target my creature? You can't target my creature because it's got the Diplomatic Immunity. Insert some sort of Simpsons meme as you wish. But on top of that, you can't even get rid of the Diplomatic Immunity because the Diplomatic Immunity has Diplomatic Immunity. So I guess that's how it is in the real life as well. Even your Diplomatic Immunity has immunity. Great stuff. Okay, next up, we got a super chat coming straight from John. Not the best, but certainly unique. Eerie Interlude. I'm telling you, you give me unique. Unique can make it on this show. Just take a look at Diplomatic Immunity. Okay, we got 3-mana instant. Exile any number of target creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So, you make attacks. You don't like how your opponent blocked. Well, you know what? We have an interlude. You can swipe them away. The old yoink. Yoink, I was just kidding. And then they come back onto the battlefield completely unharmed. And hopefully the rest that went through, smack them in the face. Okay, next up we got Spectral Maniacs. Champion's Helm. When it arrives. So it looks like Mary Poppins to me. I don't know, it's giving me Mary Poppins vibes in some case. It's Mary Poppins meets, not Alice in Wonderland. What is the Wizard of Oz, when I want to say that like some tornado is happening and they're getting blown away with the house. It's a very nice hat you have over there, champion. 3-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Now, as long as equipped creature is legendary, it has hexproof. Oh, wonder what the odds are of having a legendary card in my deck, especially when we're playing Commander. It is. Hey, I have a question. Is it legal to not have a commander in Commander? Can you have an empty command zone? I didn't think about that. Like, is it mandatory? I would like to reveal nothing in my command zone. That's right. I don't know. It's just a big show of confidence. Anyone intimidated by my empty command zone? No? Alright. Alright, we got, we have another, King Ginger, welcome. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, King Ginger. Clever Concealment. Oh, it is a white 2 generic instant with Convoke. So you can use your creatures to tap to pay this spell. Any number of target non-land perms you control phase out. Like a magic trick. First you see him, now you don't. So it's good. It's good versus removal. It's good versus the board wipes. And it's good if you don't really like how things got blocked in combat, or how you blocked. Maybe you made a good block. Then they pumped up their creature and you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. Can we hold on, any number of target non-land perms? Oh, it protects everything. Forget just the creatures. Enchantments, planeswalkers, artifacts. This is actually amazing. And it's the creatures save themselves. Is equipment a spell? Actually, no. I'm gonna count equipment anyway. Okay, I'm editing this. The MTG's best protection cards. All right, ninja edit around here. Best MTG protection cards. Refresh your browsers. The show has changed. Except for people on the replay. They didn't know any differently. Okay, next up, let's look at Coffee and Buns. Bolt Bender. The Bolt Bender, the 4-mana 4/2. It's got Disguise. It's very, very suspicious. When Bolt Bender is turned face up, which you can do for an entire 2 mana, you may choose new targets for any number of other spells and or abilities. Are we redirecting these things, or are we making copies of it? Say you may choose. Oh yeah, we are deflecting. We're doing the old bounce off me, hit you. Rubber and glue, something shoe. So there's something about that. Okay, Abzo, Glacium Chasm don't count because it's a land. It does now. I'm the god of this stream. I say it is allowed. When it comes into play, sacrifice a land. Creatures you control can't attack. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Just make sure you keep paying 2 life. You might regret. I don't know how long you can keep that 2 life up for. What? Rough 1/1. Silver Shroud costume. The costume. 2 mana equipment flash when Silver Shroud costume enters the battlefield. Attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains Shroud until end of turn. An equipped creature can't be blocked. You can also equip for 3. Very, very sneaky. You have Shroud. Also can't block me either. Even though you can see me, I passed right through you. Next up, we've got Kagan. Does Vanguard Shield count for this? I will, absolutely. Sounds like you guys have like a bunch of equipment that you... What, is this any good? 2 mana, equipped creature gets +0/+3 and can block an additional creature. That one's a little pathetic. It's definitely on the darkness scale. On the scale of darkness and what was that other crappy one? It's not a good one. It's definitely not on the best. Okay, look, we'll have a worst protection spells one day. You can have Vanguard Shield and a bunch of other nonsense on there as well. Chris B. Any relation to Christopher B? We got Ristic Circle. The Circle of Life. Everyone, okay, everyone, okay, class, get around in a circle. We're gonna tell a nursery rhyme. It's a white 2 generic enchantment. Pay 1. Any player may pay 1. I've given you the power to pay 1, because I paid 1. If no one does, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. If no one does this, any player... What the hell is the point of this? Okay, so pay 1. I pay 1. Any player may pay 1. If no one does, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. This sounds terrible. I can see a world where it works, like someone who is the threat at the table, but they have to be tapped out. They have to be completely tapped out. They attack you. You pay the 1, they can't, and then the other players, like, agree also to not pay the 1. Some collusion required to make this thing work. The SD Shogun, Tamio's Safe Keeping. Super popular. This card's hot! This card's hot on the market right now. We have a green instant. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You hear that? The word indestructible, that is just... is heavenly for the commander players. That's exactly what they wanted to hear. They want to hear that more than anything else. They want to hear, those are the 2 things. What is more important to you guys? Hexproof or indestructible? Which one, like, gets your ears perked up for? I'm gonna guess indestructible, but it could also be hexproof as well. You all like your swift foot boots, and so on. Okay, we got Kagan. This one is on Yu-Gi-Oh's levels of text box. Winter's Chill. It is. I know what this card is too. Okay, this is a weird reserve list card. It's a blue X instant. Cast only during combat. Okay, forget. You know what? I'm not even gonna read the ancient scripture. I'm gonna read the real text. Cast this spell only during Combat before blockers are declared. X can't be greater than the number of snowlands you control. Choose X target attacking creatures. For each of those creatures, its controller may pay 1 or 2. Now, if the player doesn't, destroy that creature at end of combat. If that player pays only 1, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by creatures this combat. What happens when player pays 2? Hold on. If they only pay 1, can prevent all combat damage that would be dealt. Oh, so you can completely prevent it by paying 2. You pay 2, I get nothing. You pay 1, you just prevent the damage. If you pay nothing, then you lose your creatures. It's like the weirdest. It's the blue board wipe. The Winter's Chill. Super scary. It's also, yeah, it's very weird actually. blue. Yeah, it's like a blue board wipe. Maybe even like a blue settle the wreckage in some way. West Coast Games with my old school favorite, Personal Incarnation. I'm gonna get some complaints. These are not the best cards. Hey, they're not bad either, okay? 6 mana for a 6/6. Oh, pay 0. The next 1 damage that will be dealt to Personal Incarnation this turn is dealt to its owner instead. How the hell did that protect you? Any player may activate this ability, but only if they own Personal Incarnation. They have to own it? Oh, sorry, it says only personal. It was errata to only Personal Incarnation's owner may activate this ability. When Personal Incarnation is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner loses half their life rounded up. Holy crap! What of protection is this? I don't even know how it protects you. I guess it protects itself. Yeah, this dude has star power from Mario. Oh, I don't have a infinity, or not infinity, star power sound effect, damn it. Yeah, I didn't even see that. Those stars are just hanging around in the multiverse. You never know when you can find one. Okay, next up. Let's give one to Christopher B. Always looking for it. How about we do Essence Flux? That's a spirit one. So for the spirit players, you can pay a blue instant. Anyone can play this. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's a blink spell. But if it's a spirit, you get a little bonus, a little +1/+1 action over there. Okay, we got Benovsky, Lightning Greaves or Swift Boot Boots. Lightning Greaves. Who doesn't play Lightning Greaves in their deck? I actually don't have this in my deck. Am I missing out? I think maybe this is supposed to be more important for a commander, like you really need it to stick. And you can plan on maybe you plan on winning by next turn. Therefore, you need it to let us, it's the target. So you got to get the Lightning Greaves in play. But you know what Lightning Greaves doesn't have? Lightning Greaves doesn't have Lightning Greaves. This is a pathetic diplomatic immunity. We can destroy the Lightning Greaves and then destroy the creature. Haste for 2 is okay. It's not bad. Remember, it's haste for 0, actually. You pay 2 to play this thing. Okay, next up, King Ginger. Semester's End. Is great in a +1/+1 counter deck. It is a 4 mana instant. Exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's a big blinker, and then each of them enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. Really good stuff. Let's see. Okay, Yo Little Ted with Reflect Damage. Oop, where do we go? Reflect. Reflect Damage is a 5 mana instant. Redirect all damage dealt by any one source to that source's controller. This is basically... What's that card called? What's a Boros card that just bounces things back off from you and then hits your opponent in the face? It's this. It's this at home. Reflect Damage is Deflecting Palm. I always can figure it out before, right as you all tell me. Yeah, so this is Deflecting Palm at home. But deflecting palm, a deflecting palm still. Safi with, no, sorry, Safifi. Eldrazi Monument. Is that a volleyball on your avatar? I didn't realize that. Is that a red panda? I always thought that was a fox. Now I realize this looks like a red panda on a volleyball. Eldrazi Monument, 5-mana artifact. Creatures control get +1/+1. They have flying, but you know what? They also have indestructible. Do I have an indestructible sound effect? I don't think I have anything that sounds indestructible. Come get me. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature, and if you can't, you gotta sacrifice your monument. Sacrifice your smallest creatures. It's the survival of the fittest. The weakest go first. Dragmire says, I believe it's called Reflect Damage. Oh, it is Reflect Damage. Next up. Who builds the Eldrazi monuments? The Eldrazi slaves? Probably the Eldrazi's. Actually, here's a big Eldrazi. It doesn't look like they're doing anything. We got PJX, Mr. Sword of War and Peace. I come in peace. 3-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from white. Now, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of War and Peace deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. And you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. So protection versus red and versus white. Is that it? I think that's all it does. Equal to the, you gain... Huh? Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, it deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. And you gain a little bit of life. So, you know, can't argue with that. We did Brave the Elements. I did Brave the Elements, specifically. We got... David. Equinox. What is this? White, it's an aura for a land. Enchanted land. Okay, I'm going to try to read the ancient scripture. Tap land enchanted with Equinox to counter a spell that destroys 1 or more of your lands. This ability is played as an interrupt. This is why all the AI cards are all screwed up, because they don't make any sense. Okay, grammar no good. Now, Enchanted Land. Enchanted Land has tap, counter target spell if it would destroy a land you control. That is weird. It's incredibly specific. It will work, though. Back off with your Dust Bowls, Wasteland, Strip Mine, Stone Rain. I am so curious to know how this would work online. Like, does it recognize that Armageddon will blow up my stuff? Is that coded into the card? I have a feeling if I try to use this thing on Magic the Gathering Online, it would just stone cold not work. I was like, Armageddon! I will activate Equinox. And I bet Armageddon would just resolve. Leave my Ponzo alone. Well, if you want to play Ponzo, you got to go back to Block Constructed of the year 1999. Counters a board wife. Oh! We've got a creature land. That's neat. In response to, yeah, you play Supreme Verdict, I have a response. That's actually really clever. That's a bad combo that actually works. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if it would just, well, you can't, okay, so not Supreme Verdict, but like say, let's say Farewell, and they want to destroy all the creatures. In response, I activate my creature land, and I activate Equinox. Now that my creature land would be destroyed by your Farewell, it is time to say farewell to that. Except for Supreme Verdict. Yeah, Supreme Verdict won't work. Backspace, backspace. Hey, Ryan, what's up? Look, we got a Blackbird. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Shalai is a 4-mana 3/4. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control, they have hexproof. Other creatures. So all you need to do is make a copy of Shalai that is also not legendary and she'll protect herself, and then everything is protected. Also, by the way, she's got the ability, 6 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. A little bit of buffing action over there. T-Spin, Skrelv, Defector Mite. This is seeing quite a bit of play. Super popular, Skrelv, where's Skrelv? Okay, I know it's called Defector Mite. Skrell. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe it was the E. Okay, we have a white 1/1 Phyrexian Might. It's got Toxic 1. But ignore that. It's not important. All right? Players dealt damage by this get a poison counter. This thing's not going to attack. That's not its purpose. I don't even know why they gave it Toxic 1. It can block. Also not its purpose. But it has Phyrexian Tap. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color. And yeah, that's about it. Only until end of turn. Can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn either. Because that's protection. Protection from everything of that color. Kagan, Jared, Cathalion, True Heir. Jared. Okay, 3 mana, 3/3 human warrior. When Jared enters the battlefield, target opponent becomes the monarch. Why would you want to do that? Someone else becomes the monarch? You can't become the monarch this turn. Okay, what's your selling point here? If damage would be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch, huh? You can't become the monarch. If damage would be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch. But I thought you can't become the monarch. My brain broke a little bit. Target opponent becomes the monarch. You can't be the monarch. Oh, this turn. Okay. You know, I get a lot of complaints. Nikachu, you don't read the cards full. You don't even read the cards at all. You know what? You're right. Yeah, it's just that turn. You can become the monarch later. And then it's all over. Okay, next up, let's take a look at the Shadfather with Repulsive Mutation. Which is a blue-green X instant. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. We're putting +1/+1 counters on a creature. Then we can counter a spell. So it's a counter and a buff at the same time. Mark Lehman with Story Circle. Forget Circle of Protection. Let's get everything at once. 3 mana enchantment. As Story Circle comes into play, you choose a color. That's right, I can name anything. It could be red, maybe it can be blue. Pay white. The next time a sorcerer your choice of the chosen color would deal damage to you this turn, it is prevented. It's almost like countering damage in combat. Michael, you're a little late on that one. Little late, Michael. You're little Ted with Teferi's Isle. Isn't this that phasing land? How is this a protection card? It protects itself from itself. Don't worry, we're going to look at more of the best protection spells in the game, but we first have to thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. You know where to get your Modern Horizons 3 cards. Pre-order them, either boxes, booster packs, singles. You want to get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Also, a deal of the week this week. Save 15% off all Thunder Junction singles and sealed proc. You want to do a little draft out of Thunder Junction? Now's the time to do it because now you get them booster boxes 15% off. I think they only ship those in Canada though. If you're from Canada, then you're in luck. By the way, singles they ship internationally, so don't worry about that. You know, they'll send it to Europe, they'll send it to America. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. When a new set comes out, when a new card gets banned, when a card gets unbanned, if you want to be the forefront of any format on Magic Online, you're going to want to rent the cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_OKM. And that seems okay to me. All right, back to protection spells. Oh, you meant Teferi's Moat? Yeah, that works. Not Isle. Yeah, those are 2 different cards. This one's a better one. Okay, it's a 5-mana enchantment. That's Teferi's Moat comes into play. You gotta choose a color. Creatures of the chosen color without flying can't attack you. Sorry about that, Flyers. Sorry about that, non-flyers. You can't fly. You can't fly? Well, here's the moat. Although it's funny, the moat... Merfolk can't get through a moat. That doesn't make any sense. Unless that moat is filled with lava. I guess a moat can be anything. It could be lava. It could be acid. Oh, look, it's water. I'm dying. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Jiro Cat's Disorder in the Court. Order in the court! I demand order. It's a white-blue X. Instant. Exile X target creatures. Then investigate X times. Return the exiled cards to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. At the beginning of the next end step, you get a little protection, a little bit of value too. How do you get money out of this? Isn't that what investigating is? Yeah, to investigate, create a clue token. It's an artifact with pay to sacrifice, draw a card. Oh, I got paid for protecting. Need a little protection around here. Alright, Samurott, Water Dragon, with best protection cards are the OG Circle of Protection cards, though COP Red tends to be the best since Lightning Bolts. We did Circle of Protection White. We'll do, in honor of you being here, we'll do Circle of Protection Red. Because it is, like, the best one. Yeah, it's like, when you counter, like, a Bolt, it's basically like a counter spell for 1 mana. And also, not to mention, red decks can't do squat about this. They wish they could get rid of enchantments. Huh. They look over there at whites and like, wow, they have big disenchant envy, all right? Red players, big disenchant envy. Unless they're Boros. But then if they're Boros, they're not really a Bolt deck now, are they? Next super chat come from King Ginger. Comeuppance. Redirect your Aetherflex Reservoir. Oh, God. You say that like you've done it. Okay, we have a white 3 generic instant. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn by sources you don't control. Now, if damage from a creature source is prevented this way, Comeuppance deals that much damage to that creature. Now, if damage from a non-creature source is prevented that way, Comeuppance deals that much damage to the source's controller. Right back at you. Catch. Crowcore Games, Web of Inertia. Mom, can we have propaganda? No, we have propaganda at home. The Web of Inertia is a 3-mana enchantment. Now, at the beginning of each opponent's combat phase, that player may remove a card in their graveyard from the game. If the player doesn't, creatures they control can't attack you this turn. Ah. So this, plus Rest in Peace, is like... No, God, please, it's like a hard lock. I don't know about a hard lock. Yeah, you're not going to attack me, right? If the player doesn't, creatures they control can't attack you this turn. But they can attack someone else. That's the key around here. Steve Cooper is like, please give red enchantment removal. I could kill for it. I'm going to sell my soul for enchantment removal. Give red enchantment removal, but erase all impulse draw. I don't know if that's a trade they're willing to make around here. Kano, March of Swirling Mist. A March of Swirling Mist. I'm really into this card. I like this card. I think I should start testing it. It's a blue X instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of blue cards from your hand. Spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Now, up to X target creatures phase out. So you can protect your own creatures, but you can also, like, just remove your opponent's blockers. I think this is a really cool, unique card. I do not playtest this. I have not playtested this card nearly enough. I think it's cool. Love it the most. Okay, next up. We got Kagan with the Root Path Purifier. Root Path Purifier is a green 3 generics 3/4 elf druid. Lands you control and land cards in your graveyard are basic. That does not have anything to do with protection. I don't get it. That's not protection. Lands you control and land cards in your library. Oh, wait a minute. You want to protect yourself from non-basic land hate? I don't get it. Lands you control. I guess so. So you protect yourself. There is some protection. Okay, so you protect yourself from, like, what? Probably Blood Moon? I think? Does this protect from Blood? I'm guessing it protects from Wasteland. I guess it protects from Magus of the Moon? It protects from Blood Moon. Alright, I'm gonna have to take your word for it. Never doubt the coffee crew. When 80% of them all agree on something, they're always right. 80% of the time is 100% of the time. Bailey with Apostle's Blessing. Bless the Apostles. My friend loves this card. Come on, come on. We don't. Come on, Scryfall. The Apostle's Blessing. I know it's the Phyrexian card. It's the Phyrexian. Basically, give protection to a creature card. You can put it in any deck. I don't understand. Time out! They time me out. I'd never seen that one before. Okay, there we go. You know what? Scryfall just needed a break. Needed a jump start. Okay, Phyrexian and a generic. Instant target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts and from the color of your choice until end of turn. Now, this doesn't count to you commander players, because if you're in white, you gotta play white. You have no choice. But in one-on-one Magic, this can be popular to decks that are not in white, but they need a little protection, because you can always pay the one generic and just pay 2 life, and even if you don't have any planes in your deck, you can play it anyway. Target artifact or creature gains protection from artifacts or from the color of your choice until end of turn. So also protection from artifacts. It's almost like having protection from colorless, but not exactly. We got Samurott, Water Dragon. Also, does this count as protection? Mindslaver plus Esoteric Duplication. Protection from target player's turns a deck. No. You can't have, you name one. So what do we have? Mindslaver? Okay, hold on. What is Esoteric Protection? We have combo shows for this type of stuff. Esoteric. You only get one. Esoteric Duplicator? Oh, you said Duplicator. 3 mana clue. Whenever you sacrifice Duplicator or another artifact, you can pay 2. If you do, at the beginning of your next end step, create a token that's a copy of Duplicator. Nah, it doesn't work. Sorry about that. So I'm going to donate your super chat to Snakes for Life. Ski Beady? What the hell is that? Is that really a card? Ski Beady! Show me a card, please. Ski Beady protection is good. Nikachu, do you miss my super chat? I prioritize the bigger ones first, then the smaller ones. It's a pay-to-win game here, a little Mr. Doom. But I will get to everybody's super chats. I don't abandon the super chats. Okay, apparently this card doesn't I don't know if that card existed or not. Let's give one to Pacers Fan Forever. Heroic Intervention. Green 1 generic instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. This is like the single I'm not gonna say it's overrated, but this is like a slam dunk include in everybody's deck, no matter what. It's so many people play this card. I would almost want to say it's overrated. Like, it's not bad. It's almost like a counter spell to board wipes and removal spells in green. So I'm not gonna badmouth the Heroic Intervention, but it's a bit of a funny card. Okay, next up we now go back to Little Mr. Doom, or Little MX Doom. Ink Shield has won me games on the crackback. I'm sure it has. I know, we're gonna look at it. Hope everyone can enjoy the music. It turns out like Scryfall's choking right now. As we speak, Modern Horizons 3 is being released, a new set, and so I guess a lot of people are just flooding this website to take a look at the new spoilers. Habzo says, I hope the stream becomes 3 hours also. I do not! Unless you're paying for it. Okay, we got Ink Shield, instant. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn for each 1 damage prevented this way. Create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying. So first, we protect, and then we attack back. You didn't even see it coming, did you? You knew I had an answer, but you didn't think it was going to be like that. Yeah, Scryfall is diblicking around right now. Diblicking Scryfall. Joe Tiefer with Island Sanctuary. White 1 generic enchantment. If you would draw a card during your draw step, instead you may skip that draw. If you do until your next turn, you can't be attacked except by creatures with flying in or island walk. That's a banger card. That is moat at home. You know what? If you have alternate ways to draw cards, so be it. Ha! But I can still attack with island walk. Flavor win, if you ask me. Okay, next up, we've got Nick. Did Everybody Lives get mentioned? It did not. Is that a follow card? It was a alternate universe card. Okay, white 1 generic instant. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. It's white heroic intervention. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players can't lose life this turn, and players can't lose the game or win the game this turn. That is a very, very interesting protection spell. Oh, so hold on. So this is just the ultimate screw you to Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle? No, I'm sorry. You don't win. You're not gonna live. Everybody lives. And the next turn you have no cards left in your deck, and it's over for you. Okay, next up we've got, oh boy, Hirobi, Death's Wail. Hirobi Death's Wail. It is a 4 mana 4/4 spirit with flying. Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sayonara. Just destroy it. Hold on. How does this protect anything? Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature? I don't think this works. Best MTG protection card looks at Hirobi of Death's Wail. This appears to be the opposite of what we're trying to do today. The opposite. Okay, let's take a look at... okay, I know you guys have some big donos here. Oh wait, Bailey, we did I did Apostles Blessing. Oh, you must be behind on chat. Okay, I'll get to you. You just have to refresh your browser. You're gonna see your Apostles Blessing. Okay, okay, maybe we'll start doing the donos. It's a lot of donos. Okay, we got Thrilling Encore. Thank you so much, Steve Cooper. Okay, this is Thrilling Encore is a black 4 generic instant. Put onto the battlefield under your control all creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. So not exactly protection, but I mean, I guess it's insurance against your stuff dying anyway. Okay, we got 4 donations. David Sampson with how about Classic Alley? Alley from Cairo. Oh, Alley, it's a 4 mana 0/1. Damage that would reduce your life total less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. The buck stops with Alley from Cairo. No more further to it does the damage go. The damage ends at 1. Tola Duck says, unsummon puts a creature in your hand so it won't die to a board wipe. By the way, the old pre-errata text of unsummon looks AI generated. You want me to look at unsummon? Honestly, this is sad. This is a little too sad for the show. Arcanus Ultra, Chroma's Will. The Will of Chroma. 4 mana instant. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike until end of turn. Or creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors until end of turn. Attack me and you will regret. I like telling people they'll regret in Commander, and I'm not bluffing, but I gotta set it up for when I am bluffing. So it's like, if you attack me, you will regret. And they'll be like, well, I attacked you. All right, a chrome as well. Do you regret? Do you? You need to prime them to think that when you tell them they're going to regret, that you'll always have a chrome as well. Or something to that effect. Yeah, you attack in danger. I like that. Dr. Nemo, a Spectral Ward. This is a 5-mana aura giant creature. It gets +2/+2 and has protection from all colors. This effect also doesn't remove auras, so you can keep putting auras on top of your creatures. Works perfectly. Ecos with a fanatical devotion. Works perfectly. It is a 3-mana enchantment. Sack a creature. Sack a creature, regenerate a creature. Sack the bad ones, though. That's all. You sack the small ones. Kevin the Carpathian with Sylvan Safekeeper. I didn't know this card existed until Modern Horizons 3 reprinted it. It's a green 1/1. It looks like a new card to me, but this is old. It's from Judgment. Sacrifice a land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. Target creature, not humans or wizards, protects everything. Safekeeper keeps you safe. I don't know if I got you T-Spin. Fungal Fortitude. Very fungal of you. Okay, we have a 2-mana aura with Flash. Giant creature. Giant creature gets +2/+0. But when it dies, it's gonna come back. Return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. All right, let's go through some. I'm gonna get to this donated one a little bit later. I want to burn through some of these. Circle of Protection. Color of your choice. Another one. We did red and white so far. Circle of Protection. Black. Honestly, black and red are the best ones. Because you can't deal with enchantments. You can't deal with enchantments. Na 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 na. Yeah, pay 1. Sorcerer. Next time a black sorcerer of your choice would deal damage to you, it does nothing. Prevent that damage. Have we not done Mom yet? Oh, Mother of Runes. Mommy, says Tim Miller. We got a white 1/1, Human Cleric. Tap. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Mom can protect you from everything except the machine overlords. A little too strong for Mommy over there. Snakes for Life says, I play... Well, you're trolling me. I see that one. You're absolutely trolling me. None of these cards are real. I wonder what did I fall for the first one? I don't even know what the first one was. King Ginger, Guardian of the Faith. Maybe I've been blessed for, sorry, Guardian of Faith. Maybe I have, my poor pronunciation of everything saved me from the first troll. Is a white 1 generic 3/2 Spirit Knight with Flash and Vigilance. Enters the battlefield. Any number of other target creatures you control phase out. Okay, let's do Bailey's now. Thank you very much, Bailey. I appreciate you. Apostle's Blessing. If taken, donate. Well, that's a big... We're going to do what Steve Cooper does. We did Apostle's Blessing. I hope you've seen it. I think you're like 20 minutes behind. But you're going to see it eventually. It's coming up. Okay, we're going to give... But because we already did that, I will do at least 4 freebies. You got me the last time? Damn it, I got. Procore Games. Norn's Annex. Ooh, huh? There we go. And Norn's Annex is a Phyrexian 3 generic. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays Phyrexian for each of those creatures. Beautiful. And then next. So this is like propaganda, but they gotta pay life or white mana. They gotta pay something. Nothing free around here. The first one was... Don't bother looking at it. I have no idea what this means. I'm staring right at it. I'm pronouncing it in my head. It means nothing to me. Christopher B with Sig River Guide. This will protect someone. Protect the merfolk. We got a 2-mana 2/2 Island Walk Merfolk Wizard. Nice picture. And then for a white 1 generic target merfolk you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. That's a beauty, in my opinion. What else? We got Stranger Candy. Let me get Wrap in Vigor. How on earth is that? That's a card. We have a 2-mana instant. Regenerate each creature you control. Is there any advantage to this over Indestruction? I would think no. Like, is this just strictly worse Indestructible? But I don't know for sure. I do wonder about the average age of this chat. Yeah, me too. Well, I know my analytics say that most of you are like between the ages of 25 and 45. That seems to be the range. So if you're younger, you're in the younger part of the demographic. If you're older than that, you're in the older part of the demographic. I think I should say it's like 25 to 50. So if you're 47, you're in good shape too. Magic players are old. They're old and they got money. That's why Wizards keep trying to squeeze that lemon for a little bit more of our money. So we got the 40s over here. It's okay to be in the 40s. You know what? It was so weird. I was hanging out with some Magic players like not long ago. We're all in our 40s, just geeking out over Magic cards and stuff. Like not Magic cards, but like just talking Magic. I'm like, wow, this is so strange. Us so old now. Just happens. Like, this is a conversation I would have had when I was 15, and the conversation doesn't change even when you're getting close to 40. Okay, next one. Everyone's mentioning their age in chat. T-spin, privileged position. Privileged position. This is a Selesnya, 2 generic enchantment. Other permanents you control, they have hexproof. They do they? Good stuff. That's great. Unfortunately, this does not have hexproof. Why can't this have hexproof? Or is that too broken? Is that too broken? My privileged position. Nikachu, today is my wife and I 15-year anniversary. Now do the first one I search in my shrine deck. Greater Oromancy. This is a 2-mana enchantment. Other enchantments you control have Shroud, and enchanted creatures you control have Shroud. Oh, that's a combo. We got the Greater Oromancy and the Privileged Position. That was perfectly timed. Perfectly timed West Coast games. All right, I think that was enough from the last super chat, the big donation, the huge donation. So we're gonna now move to Little Miss MX Dune. Nothing funnier than dropping an Ink Shield when your opponent swings out on their Critter Hoof turn. I think we did Ink Shield. Did we do Ink Shield? Yeah, we did an Ink Shield. Sorry about that. Which means we're gonna donate it. We're gonna donate it to Will Anderson, Sterling Grove. White, green enchantment. Other creatures you control, other enchantments you control have Shroud. Also can search your library for an enchantment card revealed, then shuffle and put it on top of your library. Acts almost like some sort of vampiric tutor by paying 1 mana. But it's a vampiric tutor for enchantment cards. Kagan, Spellskite. Spellskite is like basically taking a bullet for somebody. 2 mana, 0/4. And for a Phyrexian blue, change the target of target spell or ability to Spellskite. Really good on Lava Darts, Shocks, Seal of Fires, Lightning Bolts. Anything big enough to burn down the Spellskite, not so good, but still, we'll take a bullet for the president. Okay, what else do we have here? Toilet Duck. Bassandra. Battle Seraph is kind of like Circle of Protection. Wacky combat hijinks, but not really. 5 mana, 4/4 flyer. Players can't cast spells during your turn. I like it. Yeah, I like that, actually. Your turn, you're protected from anything. No one can mess around with the game unless they have abilities. And also for a red, target creature attacks this turn if able. You attack because you have to. I told you to. But Sandra says you're going to attack. But I'm going to die. Do it. Trust me. Believe in yourself. Ecos, diplomatic immunity. Oh, we did that one, Ecos. That's amazing. I love that one, actually. But we did that one, so we're going to donate it. Do you have another one in chat? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Gavin Drake, heroic intervention. We did that one. Man, we've gone through all the obvious ones. Arcanus is like, how did we miss Avacyn? The Angel of Hope. The ultimate protection spell. Flying Vigilance, indestructible. Oops. Let me just push that. Other permanents you control have indestructible. For as long as she's there, it's over. Okay, I'm gonna donate that. Okay, we're gonna give you one Ecos. Lady Evangela. The little lady. Okay, it's... Oh, we have an Esper card. Even way back then. It's a 1/2 human cleric. And for a black-white, tap, prevent all combat damage that be dealt by creatures this turn. Wow, this is an infinite fog machine. See, darkness. Not so impressive. But, infinite darkness, that's impressive. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look at Jiro Cat's Clay Pigeon. Clay Pigeon? Clay Pigeon. It's not even a real card! What is this nonsense? It's a fake card. 3 mana flying 1/1. With what's it called? It's got flying. Pay 1. Throw Clay Pigeon into the air at least 2 feet above your head while seated. Yeah, no cheating around here. Okay, while seated. Attempt to catch it with one hand. If you catch Clay Pigeon, prevent all damage that would be dealt to one source and return Clay Pigeon to play tapped, otherwise sacrifice it. Well, if you can rule 0 this card into the game, sure. Next up. It's just one target. Well, it's better than nothing. Okay, old boy wants to redeem themselves with Nurok Stealth Suit. That sounds like a real card. 2 mana equipment. Equipped creature has Shroud. Also blue. Attach Nurok Stealth Suit to target creature you control. Huh? I don't get it. Pay blue? Sorry, you can pay double blue or you can pay 1. What is the difference between these two? Why would you want to pay the double blue? Did someone steal your equipment? Equipped creature has Shroud. Attach the Stealth Suit to target creature you control. Oh, I guess it's instant speed. Yeah, the double blue is instant. It's like cranial plating. Is it the blue cranial plating? I bet it's the blue. I bet it was blue cranial plating. This was the original one. Back when the blue was grayed out at the bottom over there, very gray. Okay, next up we've got Pacers Fan Forever with the Fairies Protection. Oh, we did that one. Sorry about that, Pacers Fan Forever. A little too obvious for this show. Dr. Nemo with Worship. We have not done that one. Oops, I spelled warp shit. Worship. Where is it? There it is. There, in all its glory. It's a white 3 generic enchantment. If you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. Yes, it works. The funny thing is, it doesn't protect you. It doesn't really protect all your life except the last one. It is the last one that counts. Jacob says, did we do Sword of Fire and Ice? We did not. It will protect you from red and from blue. While we wait for this, let's talk more about Worship. Okay, I was about to say, like, I've beaten Worship a few times with cards that will make your opponent lose life. So, like, it only protects you from damage. But, I mean, hey, none of these cards protect you from everything. Okay, equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from blue. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Certifier Ice deals 2 damage to a target, and then you get to draw a card. On top of that, you equip 2, and also you pay 3 mana to cast this spell. Alright, next up we got Ecos. Hold on, are we... Oh yeah, we're past the point of no return. Alright, it's Super Chats are us from here on out. Ecos, Ragnar. It's the Super Chat past 60 minutes half. Strong buff daddy fixing you up, is he? Okay, we got a Bant 2/2 human cleric. That does regenerate. Alright, Bant, tap, regenerate target creature. Next up, we've got King... Oh, did we... I don't think I gave you Super Chat sound effects. Here. Ragnar, everyone. Ha! Works out and everything. Eat your vegetables. Eat your spinach. Okay, King Ginger. You got, oh, Classic Vigor. Great combo with Apex Altasaur. Okay, this is the real Vigor. It is 6 mana, 6/6 trample. If damage would be dealt to another creature you control, prevent that damage. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each 1 damage prevented this way. When Vigor is put into a graveyard from anywhere, return it to its shuffle it into its owner's library. I had no idea it protected so well. It's also one with nature. A lot of birds hanging out over there. Kagan says, I'll wrap up with Kythian, hero of Akros. Classic Kythian. Which is Gideon. The OG Gideon, before Gideon became Gideon. Okay, we've got Kythian, hero of Akros, white 2/1, human soldier. At end of combat, if Kythian, hero of Akros, and at least 2 other creatures attack this turn, exile Kythian, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. Pay white 2 generic. Kythian gains indestructible until end of turn. Does it actually protect anything except himself? Kythian gains indestructible. +2, up to 1 target creature an opponent controls attacks Gideon. Or +1 until your next turn on a target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Untap that creature. We got it. And then for 0 turns into a creature and can smash face. Good for Gideon. What the heck? What is this trolling here? Emrakul the Aeon's Torrent. It's protection from milling out. I guess so. That does count. But it's the Super Chat 60-minute half. Okay, we got Dancing Odie with Skrelv Defector Might. That one was done. We did Skrelv Dancing Odie, so I tell you we're going to do Dancing Odie. We're going to donate that one. I guess we're going to donate to Snakes for Life. Snakes for Life got a point here. Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. When Emrakul is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library, so a little bit of protection from getting milled out. It's very real. I don't know, well, not in Commander, I guess. Is there like a... What's the second best, like, Emrakul-like card to put in your deck? To be protect yourself from getting milled out. I don't know what other card... I know there's a few cards where the card itself gets shuffled back into your deck, but not the whole, like, graveyard. I don't know how many other cards are. So good, it's banned in Commander. Yeah, to help out those mill decks. Emrakul is too oppressive to the mill decks, and therefore Emrakul the Aeon's Torn is banned in Commander. That discussion never happened at the Commander Rules Committee. Okay, Kagan, I'll wrap up. Oh no, we did this one. Sorry about that. Pacers! Asceticism. There we go. Okay, green, 3 generic. It's an enchantment. Creatures you control can't be the targets of spells or abilities your opponents control. Green 1 generic, regenerates target creature. What else do we have here? We got Kagan. Okay, I lied. One more. Dark Steel Garrison. They always lie, don't they? What is this? Oh yeah, land. The land is indestructible. It is a fortification, which is an equipment for lands. How does this even get cast? Oh, it gets cast for 2. When fortified land becomes tapped, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And it's got fortify 3. You can attach it from one land to another. What a funny card. Okay, Arcanus Ultra with Book of Exalted Deeds. Book of Exalted Deeds, white, legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Now, for triple white, you can tap it, and then you can put an enlightened counter on target angel, and it gains, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. Make sure to put that on changelings, people. Or put on angels. What's an angel deck without the Book of Exalted Deeds? And Pasted Fan forever. Boromir. Warden of the Tower. Boromir, Warden of the Tower, is a white 2 generic 3/3 human soldier with vigilance. And whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. You gotta pay mana for your spells around here. Sacrifice Boromir. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. The ring tempts you. This card's insane! If no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. This card is absolutely busted. Why is no one playing this in Modern? This card is absolutely nuts. Does, like, no one know it exists? I'm, like, really surprised. I'm pretty sure I saw this during spoiler season. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. That has to see play. And then, like, it hasn't seen play for a year. Oh my god, I can't believe it's, like, almost been a year since Lord of the Rings came out. Feels like a really long year. Arcanus Ultra. Donation to Crow Core Games. Out of time. One for Crow Core Games. We got the white, 1 generic enchantment. When out of time enters the battlefield, untap all creatures, then phase them out until out of time leaves the battlefield. Put a time counter on out of time for each creature phased out this way. And it's got vanishing. They're all gonna vanish. When enters the battlefield, untap all creatures, then phase them out. I don't understand why they have to be untapped. Do they remember that they're tapped when you phase them out? It's a bit weird. $3 right now, Boromir. I know! It's a bargain. Are free spells popular in the current meta? Yes! Always have been. Although some of them, like Grief, you'd have to get it out early for it to matter. King Ginger with, last one, Lazatep Plating. Lazatep Plating, 2 mana instant, amass 1. You get a zombie army with a +1/+1 counter on it. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. And they'll never see the 1/1 coming. That's gonna come out of nowhere. Meme Bruley. Bringing back a personal fave, the Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears is a 6 mana sorcery. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. If you return 4 more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. How did this protect anything? You're the bad guy here. You're the one that played the Flood of Tears. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Yeah. Anyway, this is not really a protection spell, especially at sorcery speed. Doesn't feel very reactive at all. And then you just put something in play. I'm gonna donate that one. That wasn't really real. Boromir is played in some sideboards. It's just a little too slow for most decks. Makes sense to me. We did Mother of Runes, Michaelin. We did Mother of Runes. What did we not do? Oh, we got Marcio with the Orbs of Warding. Gotta ward it up. 5 mana artifact. You have hexproof. That's not ward at all. That's like super ward. Okay, if a creature would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. That's pretty good. That is protection. So you have hexproof. Nothing's targeting you. Whatever creature attacks, you're gonna attack for 1 less. Ecos, Marble Priest. Oh, it's an old card. Very, very, very old. 5 mana, 3/3 artifact creature. All walls able to block Marble Priest must do so. Walls able to block more than 1 creature can still do so if blocking wall is compelled to block more creatures than is legally able to. Defender chooses which of these attacking creatures to block, must block as many creatures as it legally can. Damage dealt to Marble Priest from walls during combat is reduced to 0. I don't know what I read. I don't know what the hell I read. And look at that. Look how small the Oracle text is. Okay, all walls able to block Marble Priest do so. Okay, that I get. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt to Marble Priest by walls. That's it? That was everything. All this huge block of text was reduced to this. This is like how I interpret a lot of custom Magic the Gathering cards. They're like sometimes a little too wordy and a lot of redundant words, and then if you cleaned it up a little bit, it would look like this, and it'd be absolutely gorgeous. It'd be beautiful. Yeah, protection against the walled menaces. Those walls not gonna bother us anymore now, right? Right? All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the coffee crew. I hope you had a lot of fun. And if you love having fun, you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or you super chat for other people to be part of the show, I really appreciate you. You keep the show going. And we also have to thank the coffee crew for being here today. People like Snakes for Life, Joe T. First, Christopher B., Michael Ing, Abzo, Mean Bruley, Pedgeman, Pacers fan forever. West Coast Games, David. Tommy. Is anyone new here? Ecos, West Coast Games. We got Tommy. Marcio. A lot of Summer Mermaid Star. Steve Cooper, Old Boy, King Ginger. Because you guys are the crew, you're the ones who make the show what they are today. Am I missing anyone? Kano, Dr. Nemo, Pedgeman, Crowcore Games. Wonderful, beautiful. Because you guys are the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.